Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at justkeepswimming_podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it.
Do you think a butterfly mourns its life as a caterpillar, or the pieces of itself left as a cocoon? Lately I've been in a mood, as parts of my life I thought would last are being removed. I'll ruminate over the past relationships with people my heart loves but my soul knew weren't good for me. It's kind of a shame. Because of the scars I've been shedding, I refuse to tussle with the blame and the games I've been facing, as I'm not willing to be slim pickings for these old known names. There is a sense of guilt. Not because of what they built against me is true, even though I sometimes gaslight myself into thinking so, but due to no longer having the capacity to hold myself while holding them too, especially when they choose to walk away. Part of me hurts, which is why I return to the question of this fascinating insect. Without these changes, this butterfly would just be butter with a fly on it, substance for those vultures in the sky, those whose egos are high, preparing for binges that put a gleam in their eye. But like butter, after some changes, it can create the most beautiful flutters that outshine the others. Seemingly unpimpable, as the residual memories reminding it of the stutters it faced from its own naivety. I'm sure its transformation from conservation to domination and its experiences from prior situations hurt, but from observation, it embraced its new life without missing a beat of its wings. I'm in pain, though the plan for my life isn't as plain to see. Neither is the butterfly's. Similar to it, I guess I'm just aiming to live, being me in peace. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. Here's your co-host, Mr. 13, I'm just going to be covering the episode for today, and I just wanted to start it off with a poem I wrote a couple days ago. Essentially what this poem was about was just due to the recent events in my life recently. I just feel like I've been losing a lot of connections that I really thought would last throughout my life, but it just doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, which, not going to lie, it kind of hurts, especially when these people, I expected them to, just be there for me or wouldn't turn on me in the way that they did. But that's just kind of the way things happen, and I've been thinking about it recently. This is necessarily like a bad thing per se. I would say most of these situations wouldn't necessarily be, I should say, a terrible fallout with like drama and yada yada, though you could possibly make a case for it, but I've been just trying to grapple with the fact that it hasn't really been something as a fault to me. I feel like I did the right thing and approached it the right way from multiple different angles, but it just doesn't seem like these connections are going to be something that I should, allow to continue, while foregoing my own, personal values and things of that nature. So with that, I just kind of compared that with how a butterfly goes through its metamorphosis. Do you ever really think that it misses its life as a caterpillar, or its its safety within a cocoon? Because every time it does come out, it already knows what to do, fly. And I feel like I should probably adopt that mentality going forward within this life, because with the ability to fly, it can also reach where it was before as a caterpillar, or perch upon a branch or a flower when it was a cocoon. But it also allows itself to reach new heights and reach new possibilities, which is something to really think about, just with the nature of this world, and how that kind of compares to me. I feel like losing these connections and these friendships that my heart loved allows me to make room for newer connections for wherever I'm heading. I'm also kind of currently in a job transition as well, and I feel like that kind of plays into this whole idea in general too. So with that being said, I feel if you are also in this ship of losing connections with the people that you thought were going to last, take that morning, take the time to, sulk over it, but also embrace the new possibilities that are awaiting you in the future. Maybe those connections and those relationships played its role in your life, and now it's time to embrace what's coming next, and also kind of let go of the idea that these new connections may, let go of the idea that they're going to last too. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but sometimes that's not up to you to decide. Maybe it's just another stepping stone into where you're supposed to be, or maybe you're supposed to learn like new lessons and things of that nature, and ultimately that may lead you to what your ultimate purpose in life is, and the connections that you'll inevitably meet as you go down that road. So it's just something a little short. I did want to share that to you. My brother's also kind of going through some things at the moment, but I want to take up the mantle and prepare this episode for you, because the show must go on, So, as always, if you have any comments, concerns, questions, anything of that nature, feel free to send it to jkspodcast702@gmail.com. Of course, reach out to us on our social media, such as Instagram, TikTok. And with all that being said, I hope you have a wonderful morning, a splendid afternoon, and a gracious evening. And remember to just keep swimming. Peace.